Hey, what's up guys? I'm coming back at you with another Mock Monday video. And before we get into this video, I would just like to ask you guys to like, comment, and subscribe and turn on that notification bell. And with that out of the way, let's just review this Mock Monday build. So obviously, this is a little different. I'm not doing a car mock. This is another plane mock. So I like building plane mocks at least once a month. That way I can try out some new techniques because I don't really build planes or boats too often. But when I do, I get to try out some things that I can't use on cars. So let me just show you what I've done with this. I actually got the inspiration online. I saw a jet and it was orange and it used these long prefabricated elements right here on the side, and it did the exact same thing that I did. It used that element to make up the whole side. So it is like that on both sides, and I thought this was really cool because it only took up like 6 parts to make up the whole sides right here. So I was like, I'm gonna attempt this build because it's very minimal in part usage and I have all the pieces. So you can see there is a difference on the color of the wings, but right here where they're connected, the joints are corresponding, so it gives it a little bit more flow and makes it look a bit more natural. And then up top right here, we do have this little air vent, and then we do have a wing, and there is the back little, I don't know what you would call this, like a thruster. And then on the front we have our cockpit, but unfortunately this build is too thin to fit a minifigure inside. I tried as much as I could, and the only other way possible would have been to build this 3 studs wide, which just looked a little bit too clunky. And right here you see we got the nose of the jet. And we'll just get right into this. I'm going to show you one of my favorite features. You got the missiles and the landing gear, which are attached to each other. And the cool thing about that is if you get it and you can just take that off and just have some landing gear, or you can take the landing gear off and you don't have to have landing gear at all. So I thought that was really cool. I like to have modular builds where if I don't like the look of something, I can take something off, like this wing and this wing. I just don't like the look of these wings, so I can just take them off, and boom. Now we got the main fuselage of the plane, and the wings are detached, as you can see. So this is one of my favorite features. I like to make wings on planes detached. That way, if I want to, I can store it on a train bed or inside of another plane. But I just think it's really cool to have builds that can condense down when you need to transport them. So right here, I'm going to show you the actual like inside of the build, because as you can see, this is pretty basic. And I just used a few panels here, one on the front and one on the back, and then just used this plate to hold it in place. And once you do that, boom, the whole thing comes off. So now you can see the whole inside, and this is it's not that intricate of a build, but it was pretty hard to figure out without instructions. I was just going off a picture, which I only saw the outside, so I had to make up my own insides. And then right here we have this piece for support. I put this, I don't know what you call these, it's like a brick but modified. I put this here because if you put a regular brick, it would snap when you do this, but this one just bends, so I needed something that would bend to the pressure. So that just supports the weight so it doesn't break when you're playing with it. It actually is pretty sturdy. I've dropped it a couple times, and the only thing that broke off was the nose and the wings and the tailpiece. Other than that, the fuselage was fully intact. So that was loose because of the last video take I took. But unfortunately, you can't fit a minifigure in here because of how small this is. So that's my fault. But the cool thing is that this is all held together by these hinges right here. All this section is just held on by the hinges. Other than that, The only other way it's held on is right here by this piece, which also holds on the other side of this giant panel. So this panel is secured by 2 plates, and then boom. So that's just how to build that. If you got a good look and you pause it, you might be able to figure out how to build this on your own. So as you can see, the nose just snapped off. That is one problem I have when playing with this. If I'm playing with one hand and trying to record it, the nose will snap off, and that's just because it's not attached with any pins or anything. But if I'm not touching it, the nose is fine. If it doesn't bump into anything, it'll stay on. Everything's fairly sturdy. The only complaints I could have about this is that when the wings are attached, because of this connection point, because I didn't use the like star-shaped pins, the wings do like wobble a bit, but that doesn't bother me. Like, if you can hear it, that might bother somebody, but that doesn't really bother me. So let me know what you guys think of this design. This is my first jet. I usually do cars, and my last plane was a vintage plane, so I'm just trying to change it up a bit. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Watch some of my older mock videos, like my Rick and Morty mock and some of my Simpson mocks. But with all that out of the way, thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice day.